LinkedIn personalization with bright data and n8n. Today, guys, I'm very excited to share with you a simple yet very powerful workflow which I've built. It was pretty easy to build this because I use the correct tools, and using the correct tools is many times like 80% of the work, just choosing the most capable and most relevant tools for your task at hand. So this time, I've used n8n, as I said, and bright data for scraping. Let me show you the end result. The end result is a Google spreadsheet with scraped LinkedIn profiles and personalized icebreakers that you can use for LinkedIn. You can connect it to LinkedIn automation tools such as Galaxy. You can use them for sending cold emails. Obviously, you need to take these fields, enrich the emails, and then send them as cold emails. But the main point for today is showing you how to use bright data, which, as I mentioned, is a very powerful scraping platform, and it also offers a proxy and many more other interesting solutions, and also how to use n8n. Now, in recent videos, I've been mostly focused on custom code because I still believe custom code is 80% of the time the best solution. But I'm speaking with a lot of founders that are reluctant to use the custom code, and also a lot of marketers and head of and growth marketers, and most of them seem to be biased towards the no code and have some sort of reluctancy to use custom code. So I wanted to build this workflow using n8n, and actually n8n is very powerful, and it's a great tool for just building proof of concepts. But when things become more complex, I think that you definitely should consider custom code. Anyway, let me show you exactly how this workflow is built. And then I will show you bright data, how to use the platform. And at the end, you can obviously go to the link below and just take this whole workflow, which is already uploaded to the templates marketplace of n8n. So basically, it's a pretty simple automation. You can set a schedule for running the automation. Then you come here to this spreadsheet template, which you can just take the link and copy it. And all you have to do, you have to fill URLs of LinkedIn profiles that you want to scrape. Now, you can do this manually, but we are not big fans of doing stuff manually. So alternatively, you can scrape. So how you can scrape? So you can do like this. So as you can see here, site linkedin.com/in, and then let's say we want only CEO in LA. So we are going to do this, and we get a bunch of CEOs that have Los Angeles in the profile and also are building AI agents. Then what you can do, you can use Instant Data Scraper, which is a very powerful and free Chrome extension. You just click this, try another table until you have all these links, and you just can download this. So this is the browser automation way of scraping this. Alternatively, you can use tools such as Serper, SERP API, which is actually by bright data, etc. So there are many ways to do this. Once you have a list of URLs, basically what is going to happen, we are going to loop over all the URLs, because bright data in this specific workflow, bright data is going to scrape each URL, each LinkedIn profile, provide us with a lot of data, and at the end we are going to make a personalization using an LLM, Claude, or OpenAI. Now let me take you to bright data. By the way, for those of you who don't know, bright data have pay-as-you-go solutions, which is very valuable. So this is basically how bright data, the dashboards look like. You have ready data sets that you can buy, but I prefer using the web scrapers. And over here, you have a ton of web scrapers that you can choose from. So LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Amazon, etc., Trustpilot, many of them. So let's go to LinkedIn. And over here, we have many different LinkedIn scrapers that are already ready to use. By the way, it's kind of similar to Apify, but Bright Data has many benefits over Apify, and I actually listed them over here. Let me come down here. Let me show you the benefits. Basically, Bright Data is one of the biggest company that is providing proxies and scraping solutions. They have a web unlocker and anti-bot bypass, which is this is very valuable because basically, when I used to build browser automation, and I actually built a similar automation just with an RPA tool, and I had to invest a lot of time and effort in automating the scraping, and I added random delays, and sometimes I got flagged by the platforms, and obviously if you encounter captchas, so you're pretty screwed if you don't use this type of solutions. Now, the great thing about Bright Data is that they solve everything for you. They take care of the captchas, take care of the proxy rotation, etc. So there are many benefits. So largest proxy pool, they have the web unlocker feature, which I'm not going to cover now. They also have a very convenient documentation and real-time the ability to scrape results at scale. So I highly recommend checking it out. Many people are defaulting to Apify, but I think most of the people who are defaulting to Apify is they have, first of all, they believe that Bright Data is only for enterprises, which is incorrect because they have a pay-as-you-go solution. And also that they have an assumption that Bright Data is only requires a lot of technical abilities, but this is also incorrect, and this is why I wanted to show you how powerful this solution is. So let's say we come here, LinkedIn people profiles, collect by URL. Now we have two alternatives, or using the API, which we are going to use, or using a no-code scraper, which is basically scraping via the platform, which is very convenient. I often use the API, but I just want to show you this example. So basically, you can add over here LinkedIn URLs and just click this button, start collecting, and you will get all the results. Now let's go back to the API because this is what we are going to use over here. So LinkedIn collect by URL scraper API. Now, whenever you enter a scraper in the Bright Data library, it's going to look like this. So on the right-hand side, you have all the parameters that you need to send to the Bright Data scraper. In this case, it's only a URL as a string, and this is a required field. Over here, you have an example of the JSON response, so what you are going to get. And it's also written over here. So you're going to get the ID, name, city, country code, position, about, recent posts, current company, experience, URL, the profile, education details, avatar, any recommendations, the courses that he did, followers, connections, etc., etc. So a ton of information. So basically what I did, I took this whole information and I built the spreadsheet to contain all of these headers. So as you can see, timestamp, name, country code, city, about, followers, etc. Now, the next step that you need to do is you need to come here, API request builder, and try to build one request, and it's going to be over here. It's going to look like this. So you just copy this bash command and you are going to paste it into n8n over here. I already did this, so we already have the bash command in here, but just so you know, you can do this by pressing here. Now the process with Bright Data is basically Bright Data, we are sending an HTTP request, an API call to Bright Data, asking it for the data for one line to enrich the URL. Then what we need to do, we need to wait until Bright Data has collected this information. Sometimes it can take 2 minutes, sometimes it can take 10 minutes. So it's highly dependent of the size of the data set that you want to collect. So over here, what I did, I created a polling loop, basically. So we are checking the status of the snapshot. Snapshot is basically the data that we requested. If the snapshot is ready, so it's going to move forward to requesting the data. And if it's not ready, it's going to go to the true branch, basically, if it's still running. And we are going to wait again. So we are going to wait for the amount of minutes that is defined over here, which is 10 minutes, but obviously you can do less. And then based on this, 10 minutes or 10 seconds, 10 seconds, sorry. And as soon as the snapshot is going to get the status that it has, the scraping, the collection has already finished, it's going to move forward. It's going to collect the actual data. So sorry, it's not going to collect, it's going to request for the collected data. And then it's going to paste all the data in the spreadsheet. It's going to map everything automatically. As you can see right here, all the information. I only provided this information, and all of this information was scraped by Bright Data. And the next step is generating an icebreaker. So basically, for the icebreaker, and this you can adjust the input based on your likings. But what you can do is basically ask the LLM. In this case, I connected this to Anthropic, to a Claude model. But basically, you can ask it to generate an icebreaker. So over here, you can see that I'm using this prompt. Help me with writing a witty icebreaker to persuade. And this is a dynamic field. JSON name, in this case, it's going to be Dharmash Shah, which is the CTO of HubSpot. Form, and this is the city. So city, in this case, is going to be Greater Boston. His about section, his LinkedIn profile says, and it collects what he has in about section, his about section. Then we are also providing, he also has this amount of followers, the amount of followers, and then I asked it to make it 4 lines maximum, focus more on his recent posts, not the about, and we can adjust it, focus on the about. Just make it feel personalized, respectful, and not creepy. Write the icebreaker straight away. Don't write here's a draft or any other text before your actual response. So as you can see here, we have the icebreaker. So the initial icebreaker was written to me. Hey Aaron, looks like your recent post hit a nerve. 3 point, this is related to my about. I'm guessing this is just another day at the scaling office. Mind sharing how you bounce back from this daily ad spend roller coaster? So this is a great personalization. Another personalization. Hey Dharmash, your recent insight on startup culture or as sharp as your coding skills. As a fellow entrepreneurial spirit, I'm intrigued by how you continually blend tech innovation with marketing wisdom. Would love to hear your perspective on the evolving startup ecosystem. Yes, so this is the personalization phase, which I highly recommend that you adjust, provide more information, collect, add to the prompt any information that you think would be relevant for the personalization. So you just drag the position, just drag the recent post, as you can see here. And then the icebreaker is going to be added to the personalization column over here. So another quick recap. Basically, we connected n8n with Bright Data in order to collect information from LinkedIn profiles at scale. Obviously, if you just want to write one personalization, you can do it manually. But since we want to personalize the scale, we need a scraper. And in this instance, I highly recommend using Bright Data because it's just very scalable, very affordable, and you don't have any headaches of setting up proxies or solving captchas, etc. So what we are doing over here, we are looping over all the URLs, all the LinkedIn URLs one by one. We are sending the request to Bright Data to scrape the information about this specific URL. Then we are checking whether or not the collection has ended. If the collection didn't end, we are waiting 10 more seconds in order to check again if the collection has ended. So basically it's called polling. And if the collection has ended, we request Bright Data to send us the actual collection. Once we have the collection, we add it to the Google spreadsheet. After that, we are sending the information that we would like to send to the Anthropic chat model, to Claude. It generates the icebreaker, and then it adds the personalization, the icebreaker, to the Google spreadsheet. Pretty simple, yet very powerful. Let me think if I covered everything. I think the main point that I wanted for you guys to understand, I think it's a bit more, maybe a bit more complex, is the polling thing. So let's see if I can just. So first we have the request, then we have the wait, and then we have the result. So first we request find info about Yaron. Then we are asking, did you find already? This is this step. If it didn't find already, where were we? If it didn't find already, so it goes back to here. Sorry, it waits 10 seconds, waiting, and then it's going to check again. And if it did find already, it moves on to my request. Okay, send me the info. So it's a pretty simple mechanism, but some people who don't never use this polling or asynchronous async processes might find it a bit of difficult to grasp at the get-go. So this is why I wanted to clarify this. And I've used this with many more n8n workflows, so I think it's important to understand. I guess that's pretty much it for today. Let me see if I covered everything. Yes, I think I did. Okay, go over all web scrapers. Yes, so let me just go over all the other scrapers, the alternatives that Bright Data offer, because this is very important. So you know just the abundance of what you can do. Basically, you can sort by most popular or specific business related. So Crunchbase, Glassdoor, G2, Indeed, GitHub, Wikipedia, Amazon, TikTok, Walmart, Shane, all of this you can you have ready-made scrapers provided by Bright Data that you can just really plug and play. We have Yahoo Finance, OLX, Yapo, which I have no idea what it is, the App Stores, Reuters, BBC, CNN, Google, Zillow, Zoopla, which I don't know what this is, but it's probably a real estate website in the UK. And we also have social media, so LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, and YouTube. And traveling, booking, Airbnb, and Agoda. So basically, this scraper library covers all the major websites that one should probably be interested in scraping. If you want, Bright Data also has the ability to provide custom scrapers or just using the web unlocker for specific websites that don't have this off-the-shelf scraping solution. But I think that if you're new, I definitely recommend just checking out the scraping library and start messing around with this with Bright Data, which is an amazing platform. I think that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to share the link in the description to this specific workflow. I also spoke with the Bright Data team, and they have given me a coupon code for the people who view this video and are interested in checking out Bright Data. So I'm going to share the link in the description.